I'm not going to tell you what to do, but you're going to get tired if you stand while I preach. Speaking of tired, I don't know about you guys, but I'm tired. Just tired, y'all. And I was thinking this week about all the phases of my life and the seasons of my life and the different kinds of tireds I have experienced. I was thinking about being in college, right, and that like staying up overnight to study or staying up overnight to be at a party and getting up early to go to class. Also, when I was in college, I worked sometimes 2 or 3 jobs to pay my bills, and so sleep was actually scheduled for me. Like I had these hours in which I could sleep, and that was that. So there's like, school tired. And then I was thinking about newborn baby tired.
Yeah.
Because that's a whole kind of special tired when you have a newborn baby, which then turns into parenting a toddler tired, which then turns into parenting teenagers tired. And now that I have young adults, I realize that parenting tired is never going to go away. It will just always be part of how I function. And then I was thinking about work tired. That in every job I've had, there are seasons that are busier than others and require more of me. And I imagine that's true in all professions, right? Like tax season for an attorney or for an accountant, and trials for an attorney. And I hear from teachers that the first week and the last week of the school year is particularly tiring for them. But all jobs have a season. And then I was watching the Olympians this week, and I thought, man, that athlete tired must be a whole different level of tired as you prepare to be at an elite level in your sport, right? Like, what kind of tired is there in the preparation for that? What kind of tired is there when you're doing it? And then, of course, you're at the Olympics, so you don't want to miss anything, right? Like, it's like a whole nother kind of tired. And I was thinking about my actor and dancer friends, and what tech week is like for them, because that's the week the week before the show still opens and you don't sleep at all. And then there's insomnia tired and sleep apnea tired, that kind of tired that just makes you not functional, right? There's just so many kinds of being tired, and generally, at least in my life, none of these things happen independent of the other, right? Most of the time we're all kinds of tired all kinds of the time, right? And I'm sure y'all are thinking about all the tires you've had that I don't even know about. But then I got to thinking about not just the physically tired, but the sort of emotionally and mentally tired that I am, right? And if you've ever had depression, you know that comes with a tired that's almost hard to describe, right? But the worry that we all carry every day is tiring. The worry that I carry for my kids and my family, the worry I carry for the world as I look around and see all that's going on, the anger and the bitterness and the resentments that we gather through our life. We can't help it. They just pile up. And suddenly we find ourselves carrying them, and how exhausting that is to hold on to all those things, right? And the grief. None of us get through this life without experiencing grief in big ways and in little ways. But it's there. And it never really goes away. You might kind of grow up around it, but it stays. And it makes us tired. So why was I thinking about tired? Well, I am tired, and this happened to be a particularly busy week that I wasn't expecting. But also, in our Old Testament reading today, we learn that Elijah is tired. And actually, we don't really know why. If you read backwards in the text, I mean, sometimes we get a snippet of text that gives us context ahead of time. There's no real context here for why Elijah is tired. A bunch of stuff has happened, but Elijah is tired. And Elijah is so tired that he wanders out into the wilderness and he sits down under one solitary tree And he says to God, you might as well kill me now, because I'm tired. Seems a little extreme. But it's not the first time that this has happened in a Bible story. You might remember our friend Jonah, who spent some time in the belly of a fish, who got tired and angry with God. And he wandered out onto a hillside and said to God, I'm so mad at you, you might as well kill me. And in that story, God actually grew a tree to sit above Jonah while he pouted and slept for a little while. And Moses, too. Moses got so sick of the whiny Hebrews in the desert that he said to God, if this is how you're going to treat me, you might as well just kill me. And then there's Job. Job, who suffered so much, who crumbled under the weight of his grief, who wished that he had just died right when he was born. There's a lot of tired in our biblical heroes. There's grief and there's anger. There's that feeling of being so overwhelmed that you can't do anything. And all you just want to do is give up. And so Elijah, sitting here under this tree in the desert, falls asleep. And an angel wakes him up, gives him some food, gives him a big old jug of water, and lets him go back to sleep. And then the angel comes back when he wakes up. He gives him some more food, he gives him some more water, and he's rejuvenated. He's ready to go on. And as I read that this week, I thought, this might be the best pastoral advice for self-care I've ever heard. Take a nap, have a snack, and hydrate yourself. Because we don't. We forget to take care of ourselves. We forget to rest. Take a nap, have a snack, hydrate. And then we get to Paul's letter. Paul has some advice for how to take care of ourselves too. And Paul, in his way, uses a lot of words that kind of talk around themselves and in and out of themselves and upside down. So I'll sum it up for you. The bitterness and anger you carry is the poison pill that you take, hoping the other person will die. The bitterness and anger that you carry is the poison pill that you take, hoping that the other person will die. As we wander through this life, people hurt us. People are mean to us. People do things that they shouldn't do to us and to people we love and to the world. We are rightfully angry. We are rightfully hurt. But sometimes we forget to let that go. Sometimes we forget to forgive people. And forgiveness isn't a gift that you give to someone else. Forgiveness is a gift that you give to yourself. Because when you forgive, you set yourself free from that anger and that bitterness and that hurt that you have been carrying. It's not an easy thing to do sometimes. Sometimes it's a really hard thing to do. Sometimes it's a process. Sometimes it's one of those linear little things that comes in and out and backwards and forward. And Paul says, put away from you all bitterness and wrath and anger and wrangling and slander. Boy, it's hard for me to not keep talking about people who make me mad. Together with all malice. And then, as Paul does, he ups the ante. Because he says this, and be kind to one another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another as God in Christ has forgiven you. You know, once I was having this really bad day when I was kind of cranky and I was sort of in a bad mood and I couldn't quite settle myself. And this woman that I loved very much said, "You should go do something nice for someone else." Can't say I took that very well that very first time. But she was right. You should go do something nice for someone else. And that's what Paul is reminding us to do. And not only do we need to work to let go of the bitter and the anger and the hurt, but we need to take that next step to love someone else, because almost always when I'm cranky and nasty and in a bad mood, even the slightest bit of kindness that I can eke out of myself changes me. I love this set of scriptures today. When I first read them a month or so ago, I was like, what am I going to do with this? But then when I looked in them, I thought, this is our biblical class on self-care. Take a nap. Have a snack. Hydrate yourself. Let go of whatever bitterness or anger or hurt that you have been carrying for too long. And then do something nice for someone else. It will do you a world of good. Amen.